Hey guys, I hope everyone's having a Merry Christmas. I myself am having a good one. Let's see. What I wanted to talk about is actually Microsoft and Sony with the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live being down pretty much for Christmas. I myself was a little ticked off. What I wanted to talk about, because I never got around to discussing Lizard Squad. I never got around to discussing other network outages and hacks. Microsoft and Sony owe it to their customers. Yes, we are customers. These are not free services anymore. Back in the day, when PlayStation Network was considered a free service, I really couldn't fault them for having network issues because it wasn't something you were paying for. But now that we're paying for this service, I really think we are owed a free month service for both of them, because now you have a financial obligation to make sure that your services are up and running for any day. Yes, you'll have normal maintenance windows. Those are to be expected. But on Christmas Day, these services should not go down. And even if it wasn't even a hack, let's say it was just so many people buying these consoles, because this is the second Christmas that these consoles are available, plus with Microsoft having sales, and even Sony, some stores are offering bundles for the PlayStation 4. I would say that there were more consoles sold this year than last year. And usually on Christmas Day, with all those consoles going online at the same time, it usually takes down the services. This happened back when the PlayStation 4 first launched. I remember PlayStation Network was completely unusable. Now, the issue is that because we're paying for a service, Sony and Microsoft both need to ensure that these services are running, especially on Christmas. It's the biggest holiday where people are buying these consoles, and because everything is download now, that's even more of a reason why these services have to be up and running. Microsoft and Sony, and Nintendo is just as guilty, with these bundles that they're selling. So for instance, you buy, the Sunset Overdrive bundle, you get a download code. The game is not pre-installed on the console, so you have to punch in this code and wait for it to download a 20 gig game. Sometimes it's larger. Call of Duty is 50 gigs. Nintendo, when they released these prepackaged bundles of the Zelda Wind Waker HD, it was a download code. And it would be nice if these companies would at least either include a disc or include it on the hard drive. Because now, think about this scenario. Let's say you got the Assassin's Creed Unity bundle of Xbox One or Sunset Overdrive, or the various other bundles that they have released. You couldn't play any games today, could you? If you didn't get a disc, you couldn't redeem your code and download this game because the services were offline. This is the biggest problem with that mentality of just not including that disc. It's bad customer service. It's bad customer faith. As a customer, I really think that for anyone who got those bundles, I really think Microsoft owes their customer something for that, because they're the ones that decided, let's not include a disc. We're going to say it's a bundle. Because on the front of the box, all you see is a giant logo for the game. The average Joe Jerk consumer isn't going to know that it's a fucking download code. So I really think Microsoft dropped the ball big time. And it doesn't matter if they're hacked, because you have to account for these things. You have to account for the services to be down. You have to account for massive, overloading these services, but they're not doing that. You want an online-only box? Look, you guys are far, far from that reality. You're far from that future. Because right now, the disc, that mighty disc that's been around for so many years, is still the de facto method of delivering a game. It is the best delivery platform available because it's reliable. It's something that you don't need the fucking internet to use. You could be in the middle of Antarctica. As long as you have electricity, you have a game. But this is the problem. So Microsoft, Sony, you both dropped the ball. It doesn't matter if you were hacked or not. It's your fault at the end of the day because we pay for these services now. So therefore you have a financial obligation to make sure they don't go down. Take care, guys. Look out for future videos, and please have a very good Happy New Year and a very good rest of your Christmas.